It was never actually called this, but everyone has been calling the last week in AI week, mainly because OpenAI and Google have been in a straight up slugfest, going punch for punch in releasing very impressive new updates to its respective ChatGPT and Gemini products. But there was a lot else going on this week in AI news, and we're going to be covering it all today. What's going on, y'all? My name is Jordan Wilson, and this is Everyday AI. Welcome. This is your daily live stream podcast and free daily newsletter helping everyday people like you and me not just keep up with what's going on in the world of AI, but how we can all actually get ahead to grow our companies and to grow our careers. So if that sounds like you are in the right place. Thank you for tuning in. So everyone from Brian tuning in from LinkedIn, Michael, Philip, joining on YouTube. Thank you all. We do this almost every single Monday, going over the AI news that matters, because you can spend literally hours every single day trying to keep up with AI news, but you can't, right? That's what I do. So that's what you pay me for. Well, you don't pay me anything. You just tune in live and spend on Mondays 40-ish minutes, and you become the smartest person in AI at your company because you know everything that's going on and why it actually matters. So if you haven't already, please go to youreverydayai.com. You learn here, but you leverage it there with our free daily newsletter, where every single day where we recap the show, insights that you really need to know to grow. I didn't mean to rhyme. That was an accident. But you can do that there, as well as go listen to and watch and read more than 420 episodes that we've had of the Everyday AI show. So no matter what area you're in, marketing, sales, healthcare, doesn't matter. We've had expert guests from around the world there. So without further ado, let's get straight into the AI news that matters for the week of December 16th. All right, let's get after it, y'all. And we're going to do it a little different this week because there is literally so much OpenAI and so much Google news. We're going to sandwich it like this. We're going to start with everything OpenAI. We're going to get to everything else that's not Google. And then we're going to get to all the new Google AI news at the end. Yeah, it was one of those kind of weeks. I think we have 5 stories from OpenAI, like 7 from Google, and a lot more. So it's going to be fast and furious, y'all. But to our live stream audience, thank you for tuning in. Let me know which one of these which one of these news pieces is going to impact you. I love going through after the show and reading comments from our live stream audience. Thank you so much. So let me know what you guys think of all of this that's going on. All right, first, and like I said, this is going to be a very, very fast roundup of each story because we got so many to get to. So OpenAI has released Sora. Yeah, this happened like 3 hours after our show last week. So we had to fit it in, but OpenAI has released Sora, their new AI tool for generating videos from text, accessible to premium ChatGPT users. So whether you are on the $20 ChatGPT Plus or the new $200 ChatGPT Pro, you will have access to Sora. And they did reopen signups. So they did have to shut signups down because their servers were legit melting. Signups are back up. So the new tool can create high quality videos like whatever, sumo wrestling bears, right? But you cannot create videos of humans if you are on the $20 plan. That's important to know. You do have to be on the $200 ChatGPT Pro plan in order to do that. So right now, the company is prioritizing the prevention of harmful content and is working with artists and policymakers to address concerns, because there's a lot of concerns when a AI video tool as powerful as Sora hits the market. I'll say this, there's plenty of other AI video tools on the market that have had way more time out, way more training data than Sora, such as Runway, such as Kling, such as Luma Labs. OpenAI's with Sora, their ceiling is higher. So for every single generation, right, you can run the same generation 10 times and get 10 different outputs. If you do that with every single video generator that's out there, Sora is going to be the best. right? There's in the same way that there's ELO scores for chatbots, right? You put in a prompt and you get 2 outputs. Same thing for video. And guess what? Sora is wiping the competition. So Sora by far has the highest ceiling. It doesn't mean its floor is the highest, right? If you do 10 of those, some of the worst ones might be Sora, but by far the best ones are also going to be Sora. But this is the worst it will ever be. All right, we got to get to all the ChatGPT updates. They launched updates to their Canvas tool, and they also made Canvas available to all users, including free users. So Canvas, if you haven't heard of it, it enhances the user experience by allowing real-time content editing while conversing with ChatGPT. And also the other big updates. So number 1, it's now available to free subscribers. Number 2, it can run Python directly within the tool. Pretty cool. So this new integration, this updated integration with GPT-4o enables automatic activation of Canvas because it is now a tool. So previously it was a mode that you had to select from a drop-down menu when starting a new chat. Now it is kind of near the chat bar as a tool. So pretty cool. But the most powerful models, such as the O1 model, Canvas does not work there just yet. Also, the Python thing, that's a shot at Anthropic, y'all. I'm going to try to give you my 2 cents on all these news stories. Anthropic has had one huge advantage over every other large language model, I would say by far, with its artifacts feature, which can render all kinds of code right in the browser. So this is kind of a shot at Anthropic, and there's another one coming here soon from OpenAI. But right now, at least with ChatGPT's Canvas, you can only run Python, wherein Claude Artifacts, you can run all kinds of code. And even if you're not a technical person, that doesn't mean anything, y'all. Like, you can use Python. You might not even know. You can upload a huge spreadsheet and just be like, yo, create me some graphs, some visualization, right? That's Python. So, if you don't think that you might use this new Python development and you're a ChatGPT subscriber, go ahead and upload a spreadsheet in there and toggle on the Canvas mode and say like, hey, create me a visual that could be helpful. Create a dashboard that could be helpful, and it will do it. All right. More OpenAI news. Video has come to advanced voice mode. So OpenAI has enhanced its advanced voice mode with video and screen share capabilities, allowing it to see through a phone camera and see is in quotes, as users perform tasks like, whatever you may be doing and wanting to show advanced voice mode. So this updates comes just after Google announced its Gemini 2.0, which we're going to get to, which also had some of these live video features. So this new ChatGPT feature, essentially advanced voice mode, has been out since September, and OpenAI demoed this advanced voice mode with video back in its spring event. So like that's like six months ago. So what this means, you now have the advanced voice mode inside of ChatGPT. We did a quick review on our YouTube channel that we also shared in our newsletter. I had some problems with it at first. I've tried it since. It's gotten a little better. Like I said, OpenAI's servers were getting crushed last week. But essentially, think of the advanced voice mode if you've used it before, but now with video, right? You could be working on a math problem on a sheet of paper. You could be, drawing something out on a whiteboard, something strategizing for your business, and you automatically have a smart AI assistant that can quote unquote see and collaborate with you in real time. Michael says, I love the video feature, but haven't discovered much usefulness to it yet. Interesting. So far, he's just used it for fun. Dr. Harvey Castro says, I love the screen share and video OpenAI features. It remembered my dog's names. Yeah. Hey, podcast audience too, hit me up. I always have, in the show notes, you can email us. You can text the show, although I can't text you back, FYI. Also, I put my LinkedIn in there. So I would love to hear use cases for those of you that are using advanced voice mode with video and have found great uses for it. I would love to hear. All right. More OpenAI. So another shot, or maybe taking Taking a page out of Anthropic's book, OpenAI has introduced projects in ChatGPT for, well, just better file organization and some new features. So OpenAI has launched projects in ChatGPT, a feature that allows users to organize files and conversations similar to, well, Anthropic Claude's projects and also similarly-ish to Google's NotebookLM. So right now, this is initially available to ChatGPT Plus Pro and Teams subscribers. This feature enables users to create folders, customize project settings, and upload documents. This has been one of the lowest pieces of hanging fruit, I guess, right, for since ChatGPT came out, right? So many people are like, it's hard to organize everything, right? Why can't we have folders? Well, you finally have folders with projects, but it's a little bit more than that because you can also upload documents that are shared between all the different chats. So again, if you've used projects inside of Claude, Anthropic, or Anthropic's Claude, it's the same thing, right? So think of it like this. You can have a project and you could, let's say, upload 5 documents inside of that project. And then you can create new chats, separate chats that all live within there that share access to those documents as well. So I'm sure there's going to be updates to projects in the future. And right now, unfortunately, at least as of like 9 hours ago, the new O1 model, you cannot put those chats or work with those chats inside projects. Also, good to know, you can move old chats into new projects. All right. So you can kind of right click or option click on your chats on the left-hand side and add them to a new project. So very useful. This is a feature that honestly, I'm surprised it took this long, but I'm glad it's out. Yes. Miriam from LinkedIn says, thank goodness for projects. We can tidy those chats up. Yes. But also you can upload. It's not, kind of like what Dr. Harvey is saying here, saying this is kind of like mini RAG. It's kind of right. It is a way to bring your company's or your first company, your data into ChatGPT and to work with that first. I have been doing some testing, and so far, actually, it seems like Project does this document retrieval process actually a little bit better than custom GPTs. So there's still huge benefits to custom GPTs. We'll save that for another day. All right, next piece of OpenAI news, probably the smallest one of the week, but actually it should have been huge, but we've just heard about this for so long. Apple Intelligence. So yeah, OpenAI and Apple got super official with the release of Apple Intelligence powered by ChatGPT. So Apple has rolled out a significant update to its Apple Intelligence platform, focusing on AI-powered everything. So essentially now it has access to ChatGPT. Siri is hopefully a little smarter. So this new ChatGPT integration works on the newest operating system. So that's iOS 18.2, or if you are on a Mac, that's Mac 15.2. So the update introduces a ChatGPT integration with Siri, which is kind of funny, right? Siri has always been our AI assistant, but hasn't been very smart. Now Siri has an AI assistant because essentially when you give a query to Siri and Siri doesn't know, Siri just like says, yo, ChatGPT, can you help me out with this? That's literally what happens for complex queries. Siri/Apple Intelligence just essentially calls on ChatGPT. Right. And there's settings within Apple's new updates where you can kind of have that process go automatically. Otherwise, it will prompt you. Yeah, funny, right? You're giving a query to what is supposed to be a smart Siri, and instead, Siri prompts you to use another AI. So meta. And I'm not talking about the company. So like I said, users can now prompt Siri to use ChatGPT to answer complex queries and improve productivity across iPhones, iPad, and Mac devices. So yeah, and then all the new writing tools are out, which I don't know. All the Apple Intelligence stuff to me, it's a big fat meh. It's a nothing burger. This is all stuff that we had through other tools pre-ChatGPT, right? We've had a lot of access to what we now have access to in Apple Intelligence, aside from some of the new stuff that I think is marketing at best, right? Like, oh, AI Genmoji. I don't care. I don't need to send custom emojis. I'm already bad enough at texting. So yeah, interesting. What do you all think? Yeah, Jack. Love what Jackie here says. She says Siri is the middleman. Yeah, Siri's the middleman or middle woman now. Just passing off all our queries to ChatGPT. That's funny. All right. Now we're technically pivoting away from, we got through OpenAI news. Now let's get to non-OpenAI, non-Google news. So there may be a cheaper iPhone that can handle Apple Intelligence. So according to reports, the upcoming iPhone SE 4 is set to include Apple Intelligence, leveraging Apple's A18 chip to bring advanced AI features to Apple's budget smartphone. So here's why this is pretty important. Well, right now, if you want a lot of these new Apple Intelligence features on your iPhone, you have to have one of the most powerful iPhones. You have to have an iPhone 15 Pro or higher. And in most cases, that's more than $1,000. So Apple has for many years had a kind of budget version of its iPhone called the SE, which I believe is that standard edition. Does anyone out there know? I think it's standard edition. Anyways, now this rumored new iPhone SE 4 may have essentially the chip required to run Apple Intelligence. So reports are saying that the phone could be either between $499 and $599. So essentially, if you do care about having Apple Intelligence, but you don't want to pay, somewhere between $1,000 to, $1,500, $1,800 if you want one with a lot of storage, there's a budget option. So pretty cool there. And I do think that is actually going to move the needle. All right, moving on. Can we unplug AI? I don't know. Former Google CEO Eric Schmidt says it's not too late. So in a recent interview, the former CEO of Google, Eric Schmidt, has raised concerns about AI systems that can self-improve, suggesting it might be necessary to quote unquote unplug them once they reach this level, the level of being able to self-improve. So that's according to an interview that he was on in ABC's This Week. So as the AI field rapidly evolves, Schmidt highlighted the unprecedented scale of innovation, warning of the possible unforeseen dangers and the need to carefully manage AI. He emphasized the importance of America leading the global AI race, particularly against China, and suggests building a secondary AI system to monitor the first AI system for safety. Yeah. What happens when AI goes rogue? Well, you got to create another AI that is supposed to keep the AI from going rogue, right? So he also predicted that AI systems capable of independent decision-making could emerge within 2 to 4 years, right? These are things that 10 years ago, people said were 50 years away. The ability for AI to self-improve, self-heal, essentially when the next version of AI is built by AI. So someone that knows a thing or a million, the former Google CEO said that could be 2 to 4 years away. All right, well, here's another thing that is really changing in the AI space. Klarna is making news again for not hiring humans and instead giving all of the human work to AI. So Klarna's CEO, whose name I'm definitely not going to get right, Sebastian Simiatowski. I didn't get that right. I'm sorry, Sebastian. So we'll just say Sebastian. So Sebastian said that the company in an interview has reduced its workforce from 4,500 to 3,500 over the past year. So essentially what's happening is Sebastian said, well, there's natural attrition at any company, including Klarna. And instead of hiring 20% of its workforce, so he said in general, maybe about 20%, you might have to rehire year over year. Instead, Sebastian says, we're just not hiring people anymore. When people leave or when they retire, or when we maybe terminate their contract or their position, we just don't rehire anymore. So they're down, and y'all, going from 4,500 to 3,500, that's a big drop off. So despite the CEO's assertion that AI can replace human jobs, Klarna is still at least posting for over 50 roles right now. So indicating that there is still some reliance, whether they're actually hiring for those or not. We're not sure. So Klarna's hiring activity is mostly focused on backfilling essential positions in engineering rather than expanding its workforce. So as Klarna prepares for a potential IPO, the company is showcasing its AI integration to appeal to investors, though broader AI adoption remains gradual across industries. So yeah, Klarna was one of the bigger companies earlier this year that essentially said, nah, we're just giving all or as many human roles over to AI as possible. So Klarna was one of the big, you could say, AI case studies of just essentially unabashedly handing over human roles, being like, nope, nope, we're not hiring humans anymore. We're just giving all these human roles over to AI. So it should be interesting to see. Number one, if Klarna does IPO, are they going to hire more people? Right? Are they going to continue to reduce their workforce and rely more on AI? Well, time will tell. More big price tags, right? If you thought that $200 ChatGPT Pro price tag was a lot, well, how about Devin from Cognition, which is now available for $500 a month per user. So Devin is an AI tool for engineering teams. It is now generally available at $500 a month, offering no seat limits and integrations with Slack, different IDEs, and APIs. So essentially, if you haven't heard of Cognition's Devin, what they're really kind of positioning it as, well, it's a junior developer. All right. So I think there's so many great tools out there, right? You got to tip your hat. Claude is great at coding. You have GitHub Copilot. Now you have O1, right, from OpenAI. You have all these large language models that are great at individual coding tasks. So Devin aims to be a little different. It's more of like, hey, you don't have to keep prompting. Just give, give your files, give your commands, come back later. It'll be done, kind of thing. It kind of grabbed a lot of headlines when it was first teased many months ago. So now it is generally available. So a lot of companies have been wanting to get their hands on Devin from Cognition, but they haven't. Now you can. So recommended uses include handling small front-end bugs, creating first draft press releases, and making targeted code refactors, enhancing workflow efficiency. So Devin has successfully assisted in real-world scenarios like resolving issues in open source projects, adding features to libraries, and fixing bugs in various repositories. I don't know. Any people in software development out there? I would love to hear directly from you all. Is Devin, is it shaking up your industry, right? If you are in software development, if you're a software engineer, if you're a coder, web developer, etc., I don't know. Is Devin something you're excited to? Is it kind of like Klarna in the dark, right? Or you're like, this thing's going to maybe take my job, or I'm only going to be using Devin? Yeah, let me know. Super curious. Dr. Harvey was saying my business partner was telling me about Devin AI. Tara saying, I wonder how it compares to Replit. Yeah, Replit's got a great AI agent. I mean, there's so many now in this space. You have Windsurf, which is another newer kind of tool. You have Cursor. I mean, there's so many great kind of AI coding tools now that essentially connect right to your database. So it's no longer you have to copy and paste two ways, right? Copy the code into a large language model, work with it, go back and forth, copy that code out, put it back into your repository, into your software development stack. No, it just connects directly now. Should be pretty one worth keeping an eye on there. All right, Microsoft very quietly unveiled Phi 4. So that's PHI 4 in case you're looking it up. A new language model, a small one. So Microsoft Research introduced Phi 4, a 14 billion parameter language model designed for efficient reasoning tasks, offering a competitive edge over even larger models on certain benchmarks. So yes, this mini model, right? A 14 billion parameter model is outpunching GPT-4o, Llama 3 in certain benchmarks like math. All right, so just for reference, GPT-4o is reportedly 1.8 trillion parameters. So this 14 billion parameter, that is a fraction. That is like 1% of the size, and it's already out punching. This is where AI is going. I've been saying this for a long time. small models. I do think the future, we are going to be working with hundreds of specialized small models. We're not going to be working with a jumbo model, or I think all that jumbo model is really going to do is it's going to handle some general tasks, but eventually it's just going to pass your query on. I think these jumbo models are going to have hundreds or thousands of smaller models housed within them that are built for specialized tasks. So 5.4 utilizes high quality synthetic data. So going over the trend, like Meta using synthetic data or AI generated data to help create it. So the model's post-training refinement includes direct preference optimization, enhances output accuracy and usability, making it practical for real-world applications. So like I said, 5.4 excels in benchmarks like GPQA, math, and human eval, showing its advanced problem-solving capabilities and validating its utility in real-world math competitions. All right, I got to take a sip of the coffee, because here we go. We are done with the OpenAI news. We are done with the biggest news that is not OpenAI and not Google. And now we are officially on to the Google portion, y'all. So OpenAI, I think, did a great job, right? They had this, 12 days of OpenAI. So we are 7 days in. We have 5 days left to go. Google didn't really create any marketing, any messaging, seemingly any real strategy around what was dropping. So their head of development, Logan Kilpatrick, I tweeted at him like 2 weeks ago, and he essentially said, yo, we're going to be releasing so many new updates in the coming weeks. I didn't really think of it. I didn't think of anything, right? Because the first kind of week of OpenAI's, or the first couple of days, right, we didn't hear anything from Google. And then the middle of last week, Google went bananas. BANANAS. Like, they went wild. And I will say this, a lot of the stuff with that Google quote unquote released, it's not released. So in typical Google fashion, we got some great stuff. And then we got some teases, some updates. So I think OpenAI brought us more things that we can use today. Google, though, had, I think, their best 3 days in the last 3 years. All right, let's go over it very quickly because we got a lot. All right, so first, Gemini 2.0, big jump. And Google is entering what it calls the agentic area. So Google DeepMind has launched Gemini 2.0, a highly advanced AI model designed for the evolving quote unquote agentic area, offering significant enhancements in multimodal capabilities, including native image and audio output. So the new model that's being released initially is the Gemini 2.0 Flash. So we don't have the big boy. We don't have Gemini 2.0 Pro. We don't have Gemini 2.0 Ultra. We have Flash, which is supposed to be the cheap, fast model. And guess what? It is already outbenching the big boy 1.5. So even though it is a Flash model, which is supposed to be similar to OpenAI's mini models, right? You think of it as not very powerful. It's just the fast, the cheap version that's great for API use. No, this thing is a banger. All right. So the new model, Gemini 2.0, is also being used across all of its new products. So we're going to talk about a couple of these, or most of these, but like Project Astra, Project Mariner, and Jules. So Jules is essentially a new AI coding tool. We're not going to get too much into that today, but big news there. We do have Gemini 2.0, at least the Flash version. So what I would assume in the coming months that we're going to see the Gemini 2.0 across the Pro or the Ultra, as do all companies. Gemini, Google does have some unnamed new models that are being tested out in the wild on the LMS Arena chatbot leaderboard. So we're going to have more than just Flash pretty soon. Yeah, thank you. Tara got my Gwen Stefani reference. I don't know if I aged myself. I don't know if anyone else got that. It was accidental. I promise. When I'm making these random cheesy quips, they're not planned. I'm just a dork. All right. Next. Well, if you are a dork, you're going to like this from Google. They launched Agentspace for enterprise AI solutions. So Google Cloud has introduced Google Agentspace, a multimodal search agent aimed at enhancing enterprise operations by integrating advanced AI reasoning and search capabilities. That was a mouthful. So this platform allows businesses to create a company branded search agent, right? This is wild. All right. Providing conversational assistance and proactive support through integration with tools like Google Drive, Confluence, and Microsoft SharePoint. Yeah, you can even work with your Microsoft tools over there in Agentspace. So employees can access AI agents and use low-code tools to build custom expert agents with embedded features such as Gemini for advanced reasoning and integration with image and video generation tools. So not everyone can get it, right? Yeah, Google, here we go. Typical Google go-to-market. I'm not a fan. I think OpenAI is crushing it in go-to-market. Aside, I think the Sora left a little bit to be desired. The advanced voice mode with video, right? Having to wait multiple months, but everything else, OpenAI go-to-market, great. Claude just ships. They don't even really bring much marketing around it, right? But if you want this Agentspace from Google, sorry, you can sign up right now for early access. Are you going to get it? Probably not. But you can go at least sign up. Who knows? Maybe you're already in Google's good graces. I know Google does have their kind of trusted tester program for individuals, and I think they have something similar for enterprise organizations. So who knows? You may be able to go get it right now, and we'll see over time if this is kind of a one-to-one competitor with Microsoft 365 Copilot Studio. It does look like that's what it is, but we don't really have any great information on this right now because so few people have this, right? I'm trying to see a bunch of reviews about Agentspace and there's nothing out there. So I don't know if, 2 companies have access to this, if 200,000 companies have access, but you can go at least in Google fashion, you can go put your name on a wait list. All right. Speaking of waitlists, there's updates to Project Astra, but it's still not available. All right, so Google did showcase some new updates to Project Astra, its advanced AI assistant that offers a glimpse into how AI can assist in navigating the physical world. So Astra, well, let me just say it in basic terms. You're going to probably, in the end, you will be wearing glasses. Are glasses coming back again? I don't know. Well, Google, Meta, everyone else, they're really going all in on these glasses, even though the Google glasses of, I don't know what that was, 10 years ago, didn't really work, right? But essentially, Google showcased some updates to Project Astra, which think of it as a live Gemini, right? But it can see what you see. So at its I/O conference, Google first demoed it mainly with the app, with the Google Gemini app. So if you are one of Google's few trusted testers, you'll have access to that, which not many people are. And I do believe it does require a new Google smartphone from Samsung as well. But for everyone else, you can still go get on a wait list. But think of it like this. It looks like what Google's trying to do here is bring the glasses back. I don't know if glasses are the form factor of AI. I think for limited use cases, great. My wife actually just got me the Meta glasses. I've been so busy, I haven't even been able to try them out yet. I think for certain spurts, they're great. But I don't know. I don't know with these Google ones, right? The way that they're kind of marketing them is, oh, you should be wearing them all day, right? Because they can navigate you. You can have essentially, projecting things onto the screen of these glasses. So I don't know how realistic that is. Right. And these are a little heavier, right? The thing I like about the Meta Ray-Bans, they look just kind of like Ray-Bans, right? They don't look like these big, fat, thick things, right? Now, a lot of these newer, quote unquote, smart glasses, the ones from Meta as well, the other ones, not the Ray-Ban collaborations, they're, I think that one's the Orion. They're big, fat, thick things. So I don't know. I don't know if people are going to want to wear around these, super thick, heavy glasses. I don't know. Tara says she wants them. Dr. Harvey says, I think Meta AR VR glasses is more of the future. We shall see. Speaking of glasses, well, these two, Project Astra and Android XR, kind of go hand in hand because when I'm talking about smart glasses, that's kind of where we're headed here. So Google, in collaboration with Samsung and Qualcomm, announced Android XR, a new platform for extending reality devices, including both headsets and glasses. So this brings the AI-driven Gemini assistant right straight to your eyes, straight to your ears. And it is central to the Android XR platform, being able to understand user intent and assist with tasks such as planning and research through conversational interaction. So Android XR will debut first on headsets, with Samsung's Project Muhan expected next year, offering immersive experiences like virtual big screens and for various apps. The platform invites developers to utilize familiar tools for creating diverse XR experiences, aiming to build a robust ecosystem for new devices. So yeah, obviously Apple's Vision Pro, that thing flopped. Before it came out, I said this thing's going to flop. I said this is going to be the least successful Apple device ever, and it literally no one bought it, right? There's reports that they're now really slowing down production, and they might not be updating it as much as they originally thought, because who would have thought? There's not a bunch of people with an extra $4,000 in their pocket that want to wear a 20-pound headset on their head. So, I mean, we'll see with the Android XR. It's obviously way cheaper. It looks way lighter. But again, I think maybe for certain people, right? If you're working at home, maybe something like that could be great. But for out in the real world, I don't know. I'm not sold yet on wearing around, an AR, XR mixed reality headset, right? So what that is, it's a headset. You wear it and it projects, you can see both what is happening in the real world, but then it has this mixed reality, this XR element to it. And then it brings in this conversational agent with Gemini. Couple more stories, and I'm saving the three biggest ones for last. Yeah, we're still on the Google segment. My gosh, I said they went all Gwen Stefani on us. So NotebookLM. Yes, one of my favorite tools, what I would say has to be in the running for AI tool of 2024. NotebookLM from Google has some big updates that are rolling out. So the biggest one is a new paid tier, right? So it's been free. Now there is a paid tier. So Google has launched NotebookLM Plus, enhancing its popular app with features aimed at enterprises, teams, and individuals who use the app's research tools extensively. So I believe I've been chatting a little bit on Twitter with some of the team there from Google's NotebookLM. And it seems like if you are already on the paid version of Google Gemini, that you will have access to this. So it does seem like it is both a personal premium plan, but also a team premium plan as well. So being able to share this with businesses, within your team members. So I have obviously multiple paid Gemini accounts, both on my personal Gmail and on my Google Workspace plan. I haven't seen this roll out yet. So who knows? It may be rolling out soon, but it does look like it's already being gradually released. The big feature that I'm really looking forward to is the updated audio feature. So essentially now you can quote unquote call in or buzz in, right? So if you haven't used NotebookLM, it is a state-of-the-art RAG model, right? If you don't upload your data, you literally can't use it, right? Which is really cool. I like that. I think more AI models should at least have an option to operate like that. But there's always been this kind of deep dive podcast, right? So you can put in millions of words. Literally, you can put in millions of words of something you're trying to learn about, your company's data, whatever. Click a one-click audio overview, and it creates a cool personalized podcast, right? With two hosts that seem human-esque, right? So now, the last update about 2 months ago, you could customize or give instructions to the AI hosts. So now you can quote unquote call in, which looks like a groundbreaking feature for learning. All right. So essentially, as you're listening to the deep dive, you can essentially interrupt them and ask a question. You can say, hey, what does this mean? Or, hey, could you explain that a little more and maybe use a basketball reference on the fly? So again, my brain hurts. And I thought about this a lot since it was announced. I don't think people are talking about this enough. I think this one little feature, this wasn't even the big update, right? The big update here is now there's a pro plan and you get 5 times the limits. That's great, right? And you can share all this with your team. That's great. There's a new, writing pane to create content, so now it's going to this 3-tier pane, which I think is really cool. So now it's also turning into a content creation tool and not just a learning tool that you can ask questions on. But I think this kind of call in feature is one of the most exciting small features that everyone is overlooking. So don't sleep on that. Yes, Jackie. Now the live stream audience is playing along with me. Jackie says, call in, ? That's bananas. Yeah, old school radio style. All right, 2 more. And I think, again, I saved the best 3 for last. Next. Don't worry about the headline here, live stream audience. This is Google's Project Mariner, a new AI agent navigating the web. So this was previously codenamed Jarvis. We talked about it on the show a couple of times, but now this is, again, it's released to quote unquote trusted users, which I think is like hardly no one, but it is starting to roll out. So Google's new Project Mariner is powered by Gemini 2.0, and it is an AI agent that performs internet tasks through the Chrome browser. So it is a Chrome extension that just does things for you on the web. So very similar to Anthropic's computer use, which we demoed here on the show a couple of months ago. However, computer use, super buggy. It's very technical. You actually have to download and install multiple programs, right? You have to download you have to grab a bunch of information off GitHub. So it's not for non-technical people. You have to be pretty technical to use Anthropic Claude's computer use. So Project Mariner, it's a Chrome extension, right? And then you essentially say, yo, Mariner, go do a bunch of this stuff. And then it goes and does it. The big caveat here, though, or the big downside, is it only works in your active Chrome tab, okay? So, I mean, what this means is I'm not sure if it's going to be able to work with, like, as an example, split screen monitors. But once this comes out, I'm going to be using it all the time because I have a bunch of extra computers sitting around, collecting dust, right? So one of them, if you can only work with the active tab, so you can't really necessarily do a lot of other work, at least inside Google Chrome, right? You can always open up Edge, which I like, Microsoft Edge browser based on Chromium. But an AI assistant coming soon, powered by Gemini 2.0, that can essentially just do whatever you tell it, right? Go do this research, go to this website, find the price on this, right? Make sure these criteria are met, and it just does all that for you. All right. Let's see. Do we just have one more? Oh, no, we have multiple. All right. Deep research. I didn't do a good job at updating my headlines today for our live stream graphics, but Google also announced deep research. And I'm telling you, y'all, this thing, Perplexity is on notice. All right. So Deep Research is a new AI tool available to Gemini Advanced subscribers, so the paid plan. It is designed to generate detailed reports by scouring the web for relevant information. So the tool uses Google's Gemini bot to create a multi-step research plan, allowing users to edit or approve the process as it finds and compiles key information from various sources. Then once the research is complete, users receive a report with key findings and links to original sources with the option to expand on specific areas or export the report to Google Docs. I used this the minute it came out. The minute I saw, I'm like, wait, this seems very much like Perplexity. I went and used it. It is so much better than Perplexity. Perplexity, I've talked about it very recently. It's gone downhill recently, I think. A lot more hallucinations. The quality, I think, has gone downhill, especially since they now introduced the new shopping feature. Right. So much of what I use Perplexity for, it's comparing different products and services, right? That's something I would generally go to a lot of different websites for. And now, instead of doing that work, Perplexity with its new shopping feature just shoves products down your throat. And it doesn't actually always adhere to the prompt that you give it, right? A lot of times I'm trying to use it to research 5 different products, make me a chart, show me the pros and the cons, show me who's it's for, who's it's not for. And instead of doing that, Perplexity now with this new shopping mode that is way too, it needs guardrails, right? But it essentially, instead of answering questions consistently, it instead just shoves products down your face, right? But this new deep research, y'all, I'm not kidding. I use this to help me research one of my shows last week. A single prompt inside, again, you have to have the paid plan. It visited, all right, and I'm not exaggerating here, 169 websites. All right. I gave it one prompt to do a bunch of research for me. It visited 169 websites. It took about 2 or 3 minutes. Can you guys imagine that? Right? We've been blown away, right? Rightfully so. Perplexity, great. Perplexity might go anywhere from, 6 to 20 websites. ChatGPT with a new GPT search, pretty good. Can handle 5 to 10 websites. This did 169. All right. Saving what I think might be the best for last. Google AI Studio has released, no wait list, released real-time vision and voice with its new multimodal live options. So Google AI Studio has introduced Stream Real Time, allowing users to interact with Gemini via voice and vision, providing spoken responses and visual analysis of your screen or camera feeds. So this new feature positions Google ahead of competitors like OpenAI by offering a fully integrated vision-enabled voice mode, enhancing user experience on both desktop and mobile platforms. So alongside this, AI Studio also launched some starter apps, including Map Explorer and Video Analyzer, showcasing the capabilities of the Gemini API and also available for exploration on GitHub. So I played around with this a little bit over the weekend. Let me know if we should cover this a little bit more. Without getting into a rant, this isn't available on Gemini, right? I still don't understand. Luckily, Google Gemini on the front end finally got updated, right? So you do have this deep research that I just talked about. Thank you for bringing that to Gemini. You have the Gemini now 2.0 Flash, but previously, Gemini, really all it had was old models, right? Google itself said that usually those models are between 3 to 9 months old, which in AI years is like so far behind. So most of Google's new, AI features and innovation, you have to go into Google AI Studio, not its front end Gemini chatbot. But I would encourage you to do this because all these things that we've been waiting for from OpenAI with advanced voice mode, right? The ability to share your screen, the ability for it to interact with video. Well, now Google AI Studio does this already, right? So we don't even have it yet on desktop. I do think that may be rolling out this week or next for OpenAI's ChatGPT advanced voice mode, but we have it now for Google. Woo! That's it, y'all. I can't even recap these because we had like 100 stories, but I hope this was helpful. If so, please click that repost button, share this with your friends. We put in so much work making sure you are the smartest person in your company at AI, making sure you can outsmart the future with us. So please, if this is helpful, share this with your friends. If you're listening on the podcast, please, there's all the nice little share buttons. But first, make sure you subscribe and follow the show on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Leave us a rating if you can, but share this episode with your friends, family, coworkers, your neighbors, babysitters, boyfriends, dog walker, whoever it is, because we all need to understand AI. And that's what we do at Everyday AI. You don't have to have a PhD in machine learning to stay ahead. You just have to tune in with us every day. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to go to youreverydayai.com, sign up for the free daily newsletter. We'll see you back tomorrow and every day for more Everyday AI. Thanks, y'all.